I should underline that the previous ambassadors, as well as the Armenian community, Armenian friends in Latvian Parliament, they have been working on this for almost 3 decades. So basically starting from 1991, the issue has been constantly in the agenda, from time to time it has been promoted to recognition, but it had not succeeded yet. Therefore, in 2018, after the parliamentary elections, we made some amendments in our approach, strategic approach to working with the parliament, and we worked with all parties basically, and also the friendship group format, and the work with this group also changed, and basically, all of those amendments and changes in our approaches to working with Latvian politicians gave this result. Also, the Foreign Affairs Committee has been a constant, at Latvian Parliament, has been a constant partner in our relations. So I've been, and my predecessor, also the current minister, we have been meeting the Foreign Affairs Committee chairpersons often, and briefed them very often about the situation, about our priorities, preferences, etc., the issues in the region. Definitely cultural diplomacy and public diplomacy were very important aspects of our activities. There were several articles, several interviews in this period. Cultural activities such as the release of the Komitas CD and concert of Komitas liturgy, as well as Tigran Mansuryan's Requiem concert organized, as well as Hasmik Papian was invited together with Armine Grigoryan. And so on April 24th, we were trying to be as active as possible every year, trying to organize events in Latvia. And also on December 9th, we once invited Taner Akçam to Latvia University. And also there was also media coverage about this. All of these actions have had their contribution to this result that we have today. But of course, I should also underline the Armenian community, the people working inside the community who have been actively sort of trying to push this forward, to remind the Latvians all the time about the necessity of the recognition of genocide, of the Armenian genocide by the Latvian Parliament. So it's a complex sort of an issue, and there are several players involved. But definitely, and this I want to underline once again, the most important aspect of the work and the emphasis started to give results starting from 2018. Already in 2020, we had resolutions or declarations by 2 major parties who are part of the coalition. So that's how we started, and how long it lasted, basically. The recognition by President Biden was, of course, of extreme importance, because it raised, once again, the topic became top news in the world, as well as in Latvia. And but I must tell you that this was not, it was not taken for granted, and we had to fight for every single vote in the Latvian Parliament. Actually, the process had started well before President Biden was even elected as president. And in 2020, April 24th, 2 political forces made declarations about the genocide, which, together with the third political force, basically paved the way for this recognition. Actually, one of these political parties, the New Conservative Party, tried to table a resolution or declaration during the war, 44-day war, but there was a strong resistance not to do that, because it was seen that it could incite further passions in Turkey. But then on a 29th of April, unfortunately, there were some reservations, and this was already after President Biden's statement, and the issue was postponed for 1 week for debates, discussions, etc. And this was the essential and vital week, this last week, which was very, very much pivotal and important in terms of meetings, Zoom meetings, arguments, persuasive arguments, wording, titles, etc., etc. All of this was done during this week. So immediately after President Biden's statement, there was no rush, and it was not taken for granted. Moreover, one of the Latvian leading politicians, or defense minister of Latvia, even criticized President Biden's statement, basically blaming him that this has been done in order to please the Armenian community, basically in a way accusing President Biden of being populist. This was, of course, very badly received by several Latvians, but this person is known for being quite pro-Turkish and pro-Azeri. So his interference in this case was not taken as a serious argument. There was also a very strong opposition inside the parliament, and as you know, there were 11 people who voted against. So the Turkish lobby was quite active. But in many ways, they were taken by surprise how this issue got where it got and how it got passed. Latvia has a vibrant Armenian community, not big, but very, very vibrant. It's around 3,000 people. There are a few Armenian community organizations and leading Armenians. I should underline people such as, for example, Rafi Karajanyan, who is one of the most famous Latvian Armenians, Haik Karapetyan, a very famous young film producer and director, a very eminent person, Karine Baronyan's painter. So in the arts sector, in the cultural sector, they are very active, and I should thank them also that they initiated a process of signatures and collection by Latvian eminent culture activists to release the Armenian prisoners of war from Azerbaijan, by the way. This was done almost 2 months ago. It was very, very interesting initiative. So the community it's not big, but it's vibrant. There are several individuals who are very well known in Latvia. And one can be proud of the Armenian Latvians, of course. They have been here mainly, the community has been formed mainly during the Soviet period and immediately after that. And there is a lot of activity around the Armenian Apostolic Church, which was opened, I think, in 2007. So the Armenian Apostolic Church has been a center of a lot of the Armenian community activities. There has been a lot done in Estonia as well. I should tell you that, in terms of awareness raising, because we have consistently organized the April 24th events in Estonia, involving also Estonian musicians in our events. Estonian National Library, by the way, also Latvian National Library was also a very important player in all of this, because we donated several books and several archival materials related to the Armenian genocide to the Latvian National Library, Estonian National Library, as well as Lithuanian National Library. So in Estonia, the issue is constantly in the agenda. The community is very active, always is active, organizing all sorts of events related to the community. But April 24th events have been regularly organized by the Armenian embassy during these past years. And also we have, when we invited Taner Akçam to the region, we had his appearance in the Estonian Academy, and that received wide media coverage in Estonia. Something that was in a way unprecedented, because Estonian media before that had been more cautious in this respect. And then during the war, we had one of the Estonian parties, the Conservative Party, adopting a statement condemning the aggression against Armenia and Artsakh, but also recognizing the Armenian genocide. So I'm talking about a party which has almost 20% of presence in the parliament. And there are also several individuals involved in the friendship group, which also regularly has been, during the last years, has been making statements on April 24th. I am also aware, and we have been informed about this, that the Foreign Affairs Committee in the past has attempted to raise this issue due to some reasons not related to Estonian-Turkish relations or Estonian-Armenian relations, but due to some other engagements that Estonia has internationally. The issue was not involved in the Foreign Affairs Committee. But I should tell you that this is something that needs constant work.